Hi, this is Marnie Pearson and Sue Painter back with the online business reality show, or Marnie and Sue's Peep Show, where we pull back the curtains on our lives and businesses and show you behind the scenes so you can see what's working, what's not. Um, Glad to see you today, Sue.
Hi, how are you? And I heard, by the way, you said this is Marnie Pearson. You're already thinking about the new last name.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, good.
Which brings us to the discussion of rebranding yourself.
That's true. That's true. So we were talking earlier this week because I think I'm gonna change my name to Marnie Marcus. So everybody kind of laughs, double M there but my maiden name was Marnie Morton. So, it's kind of going back to where I started. So,
I like Marnie Marcus.
yeah, at least you can spell it easier than the Pearson with it.
Yeah, Marcus. I'm imagining. Yeah. Pearson is hard. I think I misspelled your name the first 2 years I knew you, actually. So it is a hard name. And I don't know what it is about P words, but my last name is Painter now. Just like an artist, like a house painter. You would not believe how many people misspell that.
Really?
Is it Paynter? Is it, or else we'll get Panter, Panter. I mean, my maiden name was Hawkins, and I kept that name for a long time. And I never had trouble with Hawkins, but I had trouble with Painter, which to me is weird. But anyway, yeah. So how does Marnie? Everybody knows her as Marnie Pearson on the online world, and they've known her that way for a while. So the issue becomes, how does she rebrand and start using her new name?
Yeah. So Sue had some ideas. You were saying I should have like a what'd you call it? A name changing Google Hangout party or whatever.
Yeah, you should do I think you should do an event, like have a party on Google or something like that. Have a virtual event where you're talking about business, you're talking about the things you're doing, you're talking about your name change, and maybe you're putting out a couple of new products or something, or showing everybody all your new logos and all your new branding, and then make a big deal out of it. Maybe give away a prize or something.
Yeah.
So it could be a list builder as well as a name changer, right? And use it for multiple purposes.
Right.
Yeah.
So if our listeners are watching, tell me what you want me to give away.
Yeah.
What would you like me to give away when I change my name? Yeah, and we kind of talked about my Facebook page, and I did look, and my Marnie Pearson one has already been changed one time. I had Light the World as the page, and I changed it to Marnie Pearson. So I don't know whether Facebook will let me change it again, but they might if I give them like a copy of a marriage certificate or something.
I don't see why not. I mean, they really can't. People change their names after all. And so I would try it. I would make them turn you down before I went doing a whole new page and, trying to transfer all those likes over and all that kind of stuff. Make them turn you down.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and you were saying I needed to try to talk Chris into being on the.
Yeah. Like, here's the guy. Here's the reason I'm changing my name, and get him to talk a little bit. I mean, I think it would be a kind of cool deal.
Yeah,
make it a fun thing.
I ain't got the nerve to ask him yet, but I will. I'll have.
You're gonna marry the guy. What would you be afraid to ask him at this point in time?
True. That's true. I'm waiting for the right moment.
Don't even do. Oh, whoops! Wait a minute. My camera's.
We've been too busy trying to figure out logistics of the move, and I don't ever think about it when I'm.
All he has to do is sit in a chair and open his mouth and talk. I mean, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's not like we're asking him to climb the Matterhorn,
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I guess he's already been the subject of my blog for the last couple of weeks.
Right.
So.
He might get on there and defend himself. Who knows?
Yeah, really.
But I do think it is, it is a big deal when you rebrand, whether it's a new name or whether, like about a year ago, I went through this thing where I thought I didn't want to use the term the confident marketer anymore, which has been my business for over a decade. And I talked to Allie about it. I talked to a couple of people about it. You lose a lot when people know you by that name, but the analytics show that people search for me by my name more than they search for my business name. So I'm still kind of playing with, putting everything under SuePainter.com and then maybe having something where, a confident marketer redirects over. I would never want to lose that because a confident marketer has been up for 12 years probably, and it's an authority site now. It's got thousands and thousands of pages, so you don't want to lose that. And Marnie, you would not want to lose that as well, right?
Right. No. So I'm going to keep the Marnie Pearson one, but I think I'll just kind of park Marnie Marcus on top of it so that if people put the Marnie Marcus in, it'll go to the other one, or it'll still look like it's the same site.
Right. Still look like it's the same site and just redirect. So I agree. I mean, I think that's the thing for you because you've been online forever and ever and ever, and you don't want to lose all of those page views and all that stuff that you've got. But I can understand it. I mean, honestly, for when Bill and I married, I really intended to keep my own last name, and I did for a while. But he was in the Air Force at that time, and the Air Force made it really damn hard for married couples to have two different names. It was a constant hassle. They couldn't wrap their mind around it, which peeved me, but that's just the way it was. So finally, I just cried uncle, and I just started using Painter. I tried to use Hawkins Painter for a while, and that sounded incredibly British, and it was too much trouble, and it wouldn't fit into the lines on all of their forms where you had to fill out. So finally, I just said, forget about it. I'll just go to Painter. But in your case, you're using the last name of the person you're now divorced from, correct?
Yeah.
So in that case, if I were remarrying, I would for sure want to drop that name, and I would want the name of the person I'm marrying, or else I would go back to my maiden name. I mean, I would do one or the other. So I can sure understand why you want to do that.
Yeah. I just put my name in Google, and it comes up with 48,000 results. So that's the level of magnitude that we have to change.
Yes. And, you don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose your visibility and so forth. So it really is a thing, whether you're rebranding or not, you have to really think about how do you carry the good and all the page views and everything over. And usually it's with a redirect. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
So I'm excited for you. Let me know. I think you should. We could actually have part of the party as part of one of the Peep shows, and I would love that because then I could grill your new husband. What do you think of this, and what do you think of that? He might run
in the evening or something if we're going to get him on it.
That's true. Does he work rotating shifts? I know he's a cop. Does he work rotating shifts, or is he all the time on the same shift?
In the school year, he works the school day. He's at the school. So he's off by about 4.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, that's nice. I didn't know your maiden name was Hawkins. I am a writer today because of an English teacher, Linda Hawkins.
Oh, really? I'll be darned. Huh.
I wonder if you're related somewhere.
Maybe there is. Who knows? Yeah, my parents' name was Hawkins, and so that was my maiden name. Yep. There is all this confusion about names. When I got married, I did not drop my middle name. When I switched to Hawkins, I did not want to drop my middle name because I always loved my middle name. So now my initials are Sue M.H. Painter, 2 middle initials, and there's almost no computer system in the world set up for that. So then my driver's license, sometimes it's M, sometimes it's A. They never, it's not, which is kind of crazy because, a lot of people have more than just 3 names. That's a very English tradition. So, but at any rate, yeah. Marnie Marcus, I actually think I can see that. I think that would be, I kind of think that's a cool name. I like it.
Yeah. Somebody told me it sounded like a best-selling novelist or anchor woman or something. So
I like it. Okay, well, what else? I can't remember now what I said in the email that I sent out that we were going to talk about. I said 2 things. Oh, yeah. I remember one of them, and I don't remember the other one. I don't want to disappoint people. Do we have any questions right now?
I just reloaded that page and didn't see any, but I know you had a video that you wanted to show. We could show that, and then while that's playing, I could look up what you announced.
The other thing is, well, here's the thing about the video. It's about when someone complains about something you do in your business, and I just decided to make a video as a teaching tool and put it up on YouTube so Marnie and I thought we might talk about that today. What happens when somebody complains about something you do in your business? And I don't really want to have to sit here and go through the whole thing again, so it's just faster to play the video, which I just shot the video yesterday. So we're going to play it now. And I think it runs about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Okay, so I'm going to figure this out.
Screen share maybe, and then play it.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they might have a... Okay, we'll screen share.
Okay.
Hi, this is Sue Painter. I want to talk about a problem that I know people who offer personal services or business services often have, and that is when they get a complaint from somebody about what they offer or about maybe how they run their business or their price point, whatever the complaint might be. You know, it is up to us to remain on our ground. While we can be open to both compliments and criticism, we really have to also be sure that we're standing our ground and that we're not letting someone else push us or even bully us away from what we feel we have come to from a very honest and right perspective within our business. Sometimes we do need to make changes, and sometimes we really don't, and we need to just completely let go of the people who have kind of come up to the mark and pushed us against something that we consider to be pretty sacrosanct in our business. I had something like that happen to me last week, and you know, I've been in business long enough to know that you're going to get complaints and you're going to get criticisms, and honestly and truly, you have to take both with a grain of salt, because if you let your mood rise up high every time you get a compliment or really hit the skids whenever you get a complaint, you're not doing yourself and your business the favor of standing steady on your ground, what I kind of call the ground of being. I used to laugh about it and call it GOB for short, like what is your ground of being, your GOB? And what is it that you can stand on no matter what happens to you, so that you have a consistent energy and you have a consistent boundary around yourself about how you will allow people to push you or not push you or to compliment you. It works either way, but either one of those things come and go. So you can't really cling onto a compliment, and you can't cling onto a criticism either. So the thing that happened to me last week was I noticed on my phone that late Friday evening I had gotten a call from someone who I sort of knew from about 5 or 6 years ago, had never sat down and talked to, had never been a client, called me on my cell phone and wanted me to call and said that they had a whole lot of questions about, they wanted to get back into blogging, and gee, could I call them and talk to them about that? Well, it was late Friday night and I was already shut down for the weekend, but more to the point, for somebody to call me and ask me to give of my time when I don't have any kind of an ongoing relationship with them, to me, I find kind of strange. So I waited until Monday to deal with it. And in the meanwhile, I had just, as it coincidentally, I had happened to put out an invitation to attend a free webinar where I was talking about how to get more visibility for every single blog post you create using visual content marketing. So the person signed up for that webinar, which of course this person was welcome to do, but then wrote me an email on Monday, I think it was, and said, well, before I sign up to attend the webinar, I have some questions for you about it. Well, okay, first of all, she'd already signed up for it. And so anyway, she had then the free download, the worksheet from it. And second of all, I am not in a position to start answering questions about what's going to be on a webinar other than what is in the write-up on the sign-up sheet by phone, when it's not even a webinar that someone has paid for. It's a free webinar because my time is valuable. And what this person probably didn't realize is that Monday through Friday, and actually through the weekend, on any given day, I get anywhere from 500 to 700 email messages, and I have to scan through them. And of course, the people who are my clients are the people I'm going to answer first. And I might get 20 or 30 phone calls too. So for me to, if I tried to answer every single phone call and every single email and did everything that people ask of me, I would never service my clients. I wouldn't have a business. I would just be giving things away for free all day long, every day. And while I think anyone who knows me knows that I'm pretty generous with my time, I am a business and I have to watch how I spend my time. So what I did was I wrote this person back and I said, I'm not able to get on the phone and just chat with you about this webinar, but if you want to send me your questions via email, I will take a look at them either late tonight or early tomorrow morning, whenever I have some free time and I'm not on the phone with clients, and I will answer your questions. Well, the person wrote back and said, well, if you won't get on the phone with me, why is your phone number readily available? Which I thought was kind of a snotty and snippy thing to say, but okay. So I wrote her back and I said, look, this isn't up for discussion. My phone number is available because my clients know that if they need me, they can call me. And they very much respect that when they call me and the time constraints of that. And so where I live and what my phone number is no big secret, but I expect people to kind of, you know, be considerate about the use of that. So I said, I'll be happy to answer your questions by email, but if you want a specific time and you really want to chat with me, then go to my website and buy an hour of my time. And I'll be glad then to get on the phone with you at a specific time and answer your questions. Well, she wrote back and said, that's the most hostile thing I've ever heard, and I'll never buy anything from you. And at first I thought, wow, that can really hurt my feelings. And then I thought, well, she's probably been on my list for 8 or 9 years and she's never bought a thing anyway in all that time. So the fact that she's not going to buy anything going forward is nothing to me one way or the other. But more to the point, she did in fact get the free worksheet, and she did in fact get the video from the webinar. And if she would have just let me know what about blogging that she needed to know, I might have had some other worksheet or some other ebook or some other free thing that I could have given to her, rather than me standing on the phone answering basic questions about blogging that I don't have time to do and that she's not paying me for. So the thing about it is, if you are in business, you really have to learn that if you don't respect your time, nobody else is going to respect your time. I could literally be on the phone free all day long every day doing podcasts that people want me to do, answering quick questions that people have, and so forth. Most people who know me know that if they want to shoot me a quick email, it might be a day or two, but I will eventually get around to saying, here's a quick answer for you, and here's another resource, either free or paid, that I know about that you can go and get. So it was a complaint against me. She thinks that I'm a hostile person. Okay, I can't let that like take me down and all that. What it tells me though is that this person is not my ideal client. First of all, most people who know me have either worked with me in the 6 or 7 years that they've been on the list, or they've gotten off the list because we're not a good match. And that's okay too. But second of all, to just kind of keep at it, like, I don't know, it's like a complete lack of understanding of the world I live in and how valuable my time is and how much I want to give priority to the people who are my clients who are paying me for that time. So anyway, that was the complaint. And you know, you may think that I'm right or wrong, and that's certainly your right to think either way. Whatever you want to think about it is your right to think. But for me, it really brought home this thing about we can't take criticism as well as we can't take a compliment and let our mood and our emotion go way up or way down based on what other people say. I have to sit with myself and I have to say, am I normally approachable to people? Do I normally take the time to provide a lot of free resources and help them on their way. And the truth of the matter is, I do. I am very generous with my time. There are so many free things on my website that you could literally, if you want to dig them out, you could probably build your whole business around all the tips and resources that are on my website without spending a single penny. So, you know, don't come hounding me about, well, if you have your phone number out there, why won't you take a call? That's just, to me, pushy and rude to say. So at any rate, that's the whole story. You can judge it for yourself, but the point of it all is you're going to get criticism, you're going to get complaints, you're going to get compliments, and all of those things, they go by. They just pass by like clouds passing in the sky. You have to stand on your own ground and really have a sense of who you are and what it is you offer in the world. Hope that's helpful for you. This is Sue Painter with The Confident Marketer. If you want to know more about being really wise in your business, then I invite you to go to confidentmarketer.com and look around for the resources or apply to work with me. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that was it. You may have an opinion that may vary from my opinion, but I do worry about people who want to be liked, and you can't worry about being liked in business. You have to worry about, are you providing what you promised to provide, and are you doing it in a wholehearted way?
Yeah.
And you do have to set a boundary and respect your time.
Yeah. You're not paid to be the Ask Sue service or something. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why people think you're just here to serve them for free or something. I don't know.
Well, you know, and in fact, if she knew anything about this, she could have actually even come to this show and ask her question. So she has plenty of opportunities other than me taking my time to get on the phone.
Yeah.
And so,
especially for somebody who makes their living as a consultant for their time. I mean,
yeah.
You know, that's the way you earn your living. So, anyway, one of the things you said in there made me laugh out loud the first time I watched it. It was, where she said she wasn't going to buy anything from you in the future. And you said, well, she's been on my list for 9 years and she hasn't bought anything. It just kind of cracked me up. So anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you can always tell. I have a large list, and there's a segment of those people who've never bought a thing from me. And it's funny because they read my e-zine, you know, they read my weekly thing, and they never comment till they are starting to lose something. And then all of a sudden they get activated. And it's funny because they don't invest in themselves at all through me or through anybody else. So at any rate, I don't know. The whole thing just was weird to me. It's not like, I mean, if you called me, if you texted me and said, I got a quick question, you know, I'd get on the phone with you in a minute, but I know you, I deal with you all the time. And it's like somebody I haven't even, well, the town in which she lives, I moved away from 4 years ago, and I hadn't probably seen her in 2 years before I moved. So I barely remember who she is, honestly. So I don't know, just weird. So at any rate, that's that. And if people have opinions, you know, you're happy. I'm happy to see what anybody has to say about that. If somebody has opinion, they may think I'm all wet, or they may think that I didn't even set a boundary enough. I don't know. But the whole point is there had been a time early in my business where that would have really bothered me, and I would have like laid awake at night and worried about, oh, this person doesn't like me anymore. You just can't do that. You can't do that in business. You have to be your own internal monitor for that. You can't, and I don't think in life either, you can't let your opinion of yourself be based on other people's opinions of you. Because there will always be people who will love you, and there will always be people who think you're scum. And so you have to, you have to like yourself internally from in here, not from what somebody else says. That's all.
I agree. You can't be roller coastering up and down based on,
no,
you know, you got to have a thick skin, you know.
Yeah, you do have, and not just in business, but in life. I mean, you do have to you have to be true to yourself. And I'm not saying, I mean, there have been people who said things to me over the time that I've been in business, either this business or the one I had before, where they've said, well, we don't like that you're doing it this way. You ought to do it this way. And when I sat and thought about it, I really thought, that does make sense. It was a suggestion I could implement. So I'm not saying you never listen to those things, but I'm saying emotionally you can't go up and down about them. That's the deal. And you do have to respect your time. So do you have something else you wanted to talk about? And we said in the email we would talk about launches that are failures. Right?
Those launches that are failures. Okay, things that don't work out.
Yeah. I had one of those this past week too. I did this webinar about how to get more visibility for your blog posts with using visual content marketing. And it was I had a lot of people sign up for it, and I had a lot of people attend it. But what I did was I made a follow-on offer of a 30-day challenge to help people implement what they had learned in the webinar. And I don't know if it's just the time of year because people are busy with back to school or what the deal is, but I had one person sign up for that 30-day challenge, and it was very inexpensive. It was $30 for 30 days, so $1 a day for 30 days. So I had to can it, and I had to refund the money from the person that had bought it. So I just want people to understand that even though Marnie and I have been in business for a long time, we both try things constantly, and sometimes they work out well, and sometimes they don't work out for anything. So I was kind of like, well, what's the deal? Is it my bad copy? Is it, what's the deal that people wouldn't spend $30 to get help for 30 days in a Facebook forum? And then I had one guy who tried to buy it the morning it started, and I had to tell him, no, I shut it down because I only had one person as of last night. And then I had another person who emailed me and said, I really wanted to do it, but my kids are in the middle of going back to school, blah, 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 blah. And I do think people have been spending back to school money lately. So this time of year is hard to launch something. It's better to wait till about mid-September when people have kind of refilled their pockets and they've gotten over getting their kids back in school. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's not a cheap time of year for somebody who has kids. So
it's not.
Take it from somebody who put one into college and two back into high school. So
she's flown the coop, huh? She's gone.
Yeah, she's gone. She's doing well though. She's
good. That's cool. So that's it. I guess, what else from you, Marnie, today? I know you're like checking off the wedding list because your wedding's coming up in just a few short weeks.
Yeah, trying to get all that done. Business-wise, I've just been focusing on this blog. I'm trying visibility from a different angle, and
yeah, the sex and romance angle.
It's not heavy on sex, though.
I mean, come on now. After this whole thing in the marriage, then you're going to have to keep on the sex and romance blog. So now, see, it could, I don't know, you might really attract a lot of attention there.
Never know. I don't know.
You never know. Sex and romance sales. That's what I keep trying to tell you.
The blog has been popular. I mean, there's a lot of people that are reading it, and they're like, oh, I'm following this. This is my favorite one in the series or whatever. So, I mean, they're watching it. I don't know where it's going, but I have gotten a little bit more sales of other products and things.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether there's
a rising tide raises all boats, right?
Yeah. What was that book about punch, punch, jab, whatever, where you...
Oh, yeah. Punch, 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 jab or something. I can't remember the name of it.
Put out a lot of good stuff that you're not pitching in, and then you jab or whatever.
Right. Right.
I'm trying it out. I've gone 13 days in a row on it. So... That's
cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm kind of playing with that too. I enjoy doing, a long time ago, I thought I wanted to be a photojournalist when I was a little kid, after astronaut and after doctor and all that other stuff. And I still do love showing people places. So yesterday, Bill and I took some time off and we went down to Leaper's Fork, and that's just basically in South Nashville, but Middle Tennessee is gorgeous. It's very wooded and green and hilly, not unlike where you live, Marnie, actually. We're not that far apart geographically. And so I shot some video about Leaper's Fork. And of course, the original Puckett's is there, which is where a lot of musicians hang out and come and jam. A lot of famous musicians got started there. And so we went and had lunch at Puckett's. And there's a lot of country music stars who have big, huge farms out in that area. So there's a lot of, closed gates and wooden and stone fences and stuff like that. So I did a little video, and I'm just going to put it up. It has nothing to do with my business or really has to do with anything except travel a little bit maybe. But I'm going to put it up and just for people to enjoy and kind of see the area. I have a board on Pinterest about cool things to do in Nashville, and I think I'm going to pin the video to that board.
Cool. Good idea.
Yeah. So
we do have a comment. Joanne. Oh. Joanne's here. Hey, Joanne.
Hey, Joanne.
She says, Sue, I agree with you totally. She probably would have never bought anything from you anyway, but would just grab all of the free stuff she could. I had a similar circumstance with someone on my list recently.
Ah, okay. Well, see, then Joanne kind of knows how it feels. And I hope, Joanne, that you were able to keep your even ground, too, and not lose sleep over the fact that someone called you hostile. It's funny. We always project our emotions onto other people. And actually, when she wrote and said, well, if you want to take a phone call, why is your phone number readily available? I thought that was hostile.
Like an error there.
Yeah. All right, well, we're past time, and I've got to jump on another call. But it's good to see you, Marnie, and I'm still bummed that I'm not bummed that we have out-of-town company over Labor Day. I'm looking forward to them, but I'm bummed that the timing was such that it's going to preclude us from shooting down there to see your wedding, because I sure would have loved to have come.
Yeah, it would be nice to have you here.
I know. Well, okay. Maybe you guys can come visiting before we disappear to Florida, and we'll show you Nashville, and we'll get to meet your new hubby.
Oh, yeah, maybe we can do something like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, y'all. Well, till next week, we'll see you.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.